Live from the capital, Gaborone, this is Btv-News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomutso Mapane. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Advocate Duma Bongo has arrived in Budapest, Hungary. Residents of Ramudugu plead with government to close down a landfill site due to its detrimental effects to the village.
And in sports, Botswana and Hungary embark on a journey to forge strategic sports collaborations and partnerships.
Jose Hongwe joins us later with the sport in sign language is Patricia Chovonyani. Good evening. President Advocate Duma Bongo has arrived in Budapest to begin an official visit during which he hopes to strengthen economic and political cooperation with Hungary. The president is expected to hold high-level talks with Hungarian President Tamás Suyuk and Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. The visit is part of government's foreign affairs program to seek partnerships that can help boost Botswana's economy. Hungary is successful in the fields of mining, industry and technology. In addition, the private sector contributes 80% of the country's revenue, which is still a dream for Botswana. Botswana is therefore expected to learn from Hungary to transition out of a diamond-dependent economy. Meanwhile, Hungary's State Secretary Ms. Bolarka Iles has reaffirmed her country's commitment to deepening cooperation with Botswana, highlighting shared values and mutual alignment on key global issues. Speaking during a bilateral engagement in Budapest, Ms. Iles underscored the importance of growing ties between the two nations. On Botswana's side, the Minister of Sport and Arts, Jacob Gilibeng, says Botswana looks to Hungary as a model of economic resilience and transformation, a country that has achieved industrial success. This partnership has already begun to bear fruit. Hungary has doubled its scholarship offering to Botswana, increasing from 10 to 20 under the Stipendium Hungaricum program through a new memorandum of understanding covering the year 2025 to 2027. 16 students are currently studying various undergraduate, master's and PhD programs in science and technology, agriculture, medical and health sciences, mathematics and engineering. With Botswana's economy under strain due to a slump in the diamond market, President Bongo is on a strategic mission to secure new partnerships and bold reforms to jumpstart the country's transformation. And with Hungary's diversified, innovation-led economy rooted in strong education, manufacturing and private sector dynamism, Minister Gilibeng says Hungary's playbook might just be what Botswana needs.
Sports diplomacy me gape le go buisana ka tsa puso le tirisano mmogo le gore ba eletsang le puso ya Hungary go se leng gore ba ka dirisana le rona mmogo kana ba thoka thotwetso go na le the memorandum of understanding o ta sainiwang ke mahasi ka bobedi me go setse go na le ditsetana dingwe tse le gore buiwa ka tsone go oketsa scholarship sa bone ya kana ba ntse ba thusa bana ba bangwe ba go oketsa gore ba thusa ba le kae jaaka go na le dikgantshong tsa bo manufacturing gore ba bata gore ba kgone go supply mahatsi kana ba exporta di product tsa bone to mahatsi a tshwana la rona mo ka selekanyo se kae go na le tse dingwe tse leng gore ba eletsa gore ba ka ditira le puso ya rona mme jaanong go raya gore tirisano mmogo ya rona jaaka ne ke taha jaaka Dr. Butale our honorable minister le ene na le kwano re le ka gone go gagamatsa le go tiisa tirisano mmogo ya rona tautona jaanong ha goroga jaaka le bona taele state visit le bona go ruta ba amogelwa ke tautona le tona kgolo go raya gore tirisano mmogo ya rona go golagana ga rona le bone go tabo go sementeletswe kana go beilwe mo maemo a nta.
President Duma Bongo is in Budapest, Hungary, marking a critical stop in his international tour to forge strategic partnerships and attract the kind of investment that could turn Botswana's economic tide. Botswana's ambassador to Germany, John Dipuwe, says the visit reflects the urgency with which the new administration is working to reimagine the country's development path. Badumedi Mukonupi reports.
In the heart of Central Europe, the iconic skyline of Budapest tells a story of resilience, reinvention, and a nation deeply rooted in its rich cultural heritage. These architectural marvels rise with defiance and as reminders of a country that turned history's hardships into economic transformation. Now, as President Boko steps onto Hungarian soil, he does so thousands of miles from home in a quest to bring Botswana closer to its own rebirth.
We have established diplomatic relations with Hungary in 1980, but this is the first region visit by head of state from Botswana, and it's a great endeavor for the president to have undertaken this visit, because Hungary is an important partner with Botswana in the sense that it is a big manufacturing base. This is an area that creates a lot of jobs. And as Botswana, we need to benchmark from Hungary to see how best we can cooperate with the Hungarian companies so that we can lure them to be in Botswana. As you all know, we have a serious problem of youth unemployment in Botswana, and therefore the manufacturing base is one area where we are really lacking as a country. The Hungarian industry is big in the automotive industry, is big in the chemical industry, fertilizer industry, smart technologies, ICT in general, and we can really benefit from these areas.
From Las Vegas and New York to now Budapest, his journey is not just geographical. It is a strategic pursuit of partnerships, ideas, and investment to help steer Botswana toward inclusive growth and diversification.
There will be a business forum where the president will address the Hungarian business community. And this is where the president is going to sell Botswana, sell the Botswana story about the opportunities that Botswana can offer for investors to set up in Botswana. And this is very important. One of the things that the president prioritizes is the diversification of the Botswana economy. By so doing, we'll be able to grow our economy and create more jobs.
In just 3 years, President Boko says Botswana must turn the corner. He says a nation with one of the world's most treasured diamond resources must now mine prosperity in other sectors to lift thousands out of poverty. Badumedi Mukunupi, Btv-News, Budapest, Hungary.
Councillors in Chobe have welcomed the draft National Decentralization Bill, saying it is long overdue. They said this will empower them to make decisions speedily, thus expediting developmental projects in their respective districts. Councillors made the remarks during a special full council session addressed by the Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Ketlhalefile Motshekwa. Ke a leboga Eole reports.
Councillors say through this policy, communities in areas abundant with natural resources like Chobe would benefit greatly through local beneficiation. They further state that now is the right time for government to hand back power and autonomy to local authorities for the improved social upliftment of communities.
Se Minister Ananza se bua so ne se batiwa boa maruri hela gore di council tsa rona ma councilor ba ne le di tap, they must have powers. We want local autonomy. We must have power and authority. E ka re thusa rona mo dikgaolong ka re tshwere mabogo ene go tshwara mabogo ga rona ntse o bua ka khanya ya gore rona kwano re akola moamuso wa bojanala mme bile nka bo re setse go mpe go re bua yana ha ne nka bo sale policy e tseng nka bo ra akola dingwe tse le gore council nka bo itshuma itsa makakala
jaaka o le moga le wena gore we are blessed with natural resources mo kgaolong e ke a lela ke ema ke lela ga pele ga go mongame gore gongwe re batla go tare ja sengwe mo di natural resources mme dithata tsa rona di a tsewa. These natural resources have been taken back to the government ga re bua yana through the act ya CBNRM. Gongwe tona a re eng go dumalana gore yaanong di-royalty di boele beng ba gae. A re dumalane ga motion o tsenye ko parlamenteng tona o re thuse le rona mo dikgaolong tsa rona.
Minister Motshekwa says government is committed to creating a well-oiled local government system by decentralizing responsibilities to councils to implement projects on time and on budget.
The development of a decentralization policy is part of an undertaking by the government of Botswana to create a governance framework that defines and aligns the roles and responsibilities of central government, local governments, and non-state actors, particularly in this region where you have non-state actors in tourism industry, to drive decentralized, inclusive, and responsive service delivery and sustainable local development.
There is also a need to change the developmental trajectory by empowering local communities.
However, there is an injustice in the developmental approach to these communities. There is nothing said over the communities side benefit. We need to change the trajectory. We need to change the approach to development. But
the National Decentralization Policy Bill is scheduled to be tabled before Parliament in July. Btv-News, Kasani.
Mr. Andrew Moshokwa from the Pan-African Mathematics Olympiad Organizing Committee says the 2025 Pan-African Mathematics Olympiad has received 112 students in the country who are ready to participate in the competition. This was highlighted at a press briefing on Wednesday. The Pan-African Mathematics Olympiad is an annual mathematics competition for secondary school learners across Africa, seeking to foster a culture of mathematical excellence, critical thinking, and intellectual collaboration among African youth. Team Botswana is positive they will bring it home, as they have been preparing for this competition for 2 weeks now. This year's Olympiad will run from the 8th to the 18th of June and will feature participants from 23 African countries. Participants will engage in a series of high-level mathematical problem-solving contests and educational excursions while promoting STEM education and regional cooperation.
We had 90% of our preparations. That's why I said PAM is already here. We are very, very excited for the first time in history that we are able to host PAMO, Pan-African Mathematics Olympiad. We have started our preparations last year and we are doing very, very well. Though we are having a pain in our flesh, the issue of funding. So sponsors are not coming forth. Already now we have received 13 countries. Mali is here, Senegal is here, Benin is here, and then Lesotho is here. We are having a lot. So 17 countries are here, and then we are having 112 students that are already here from outside. We have started today. This workshop is for transition of OBE to STEM. So you know that the government is preaching STEM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So there is a transition that is going on, or that is going to happen, that our ministry want to transit from OBE to STEM. The workshop started today. We had today 27 senior teachers from different schools in Botswana. And mind you,
so yes, we have been training for 2 weeks here, and the questions were challenging, yes. They were challenging, but yes, we believe that we can be able to solve them. Just like a problem has a solution.
We are going to host the Pan-African Math Olympiad this year. Yeah, I feel like this is a very important thing for us to be doing, and I hope that it goes well.
The Assistant Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, Mr. Kuwahile Atamelang, has expressed concern over delays in the reconstruction of the A3 road from Francistown to Nata. In his tour of the road and other projects implemented under the Development Manager model by Okavango Africa Consortium, Mr. Atamelang said part of the reason the road is 4% behind schedule is that other government ministries are reluctant to relocate their services to pave way for the construction of the road. Bethany Mando with more.
The reconstruction of the 200 kilometers A3 road from Francistown all the way to Nata commenced in November last year. However, progress has been very slow, with the contractor having managed to achieve 15% against a target of 19%. This delay did not sit well with the Assistant Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, Mr. Kuwahile Atamelang, who called on the contractor to fast-track the progress so that the road is delivered in May 2027.
15% progress against 19%.
We have been briefed that the construction of A3 road is at 15% progress against 19%, and some of the reasons for the delay was heavy rains experienced at the beginning of the year. So being behind by a month is a major concern for us. But for government to make a lasting mark with these developments such as roads, the Assistant Minister says it is time government ministries collaborate in these projects to avoid delays that could be easily sorted out on site.
Ditirelo tsa bo water utilities tsa bo rametakase le ba bo bokra ba ditirelo tsa mafarathata a bo internet ya o gona bona gore le anong le bone ke gona anong go.
We have realized that there are services for Water Utilities Corporation, Botswana Power Corporation and the Btv-News where the road is going to pass that hampers the progress, as the mentioned parastatals have not started relocating their services to pave way for the construction of the road. So it's important that in future, when we plan for projects of this nature, all stakeholders should be involved to avoid delay in implementation of projects. Other reasons that causes delays in project delivery is failure to take decision on time by those assigned to monitor this project on behalf of government, and some have led to litigation. And as the new government, we will not allow this to happen again.
Project and how can level the past 10 years? Government o dirisitse madi a mantsi go duela tsone these disputes go di courting as opposed to deliver ditsela, and we cannot afford to continue and go in that way.
Meanwhile, Mr. Atamelang also touted the progress for the expansion of the construction of Chamabona Junior Secondary School in Matangwane and the gold mine in Francistown, all which are behind schedule. The ministry has assured that it will tighten grip in monitoring of government projects to reduce corruption and maladministration that waste public funds on mega projects. Bethany Mando, Btv-News, Francistown.
Central Police Station in Gaborone is investigating an incident in which a 27-year-old prison inmate was allegedly raped by two fellow prisoners last night at Central Prison in Gaborone. This was revealed by the Central Police Station Commander, Superintendent Shapsin Mbuso, during an interview with Btv-News reporter Umkutlule Tamache.
37-year-old Tsepiso Lezididi and 27-year-old Ubuile Nkwala are the key suspects in the rape of a male inmate who was in custody and was held at Central Prison, which is located at village in Gaborone. Btv-News investigations revealed that the raped inmate, whose identity is still hidden, indicated that Lezididi and Nkwala raped him between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. last night, but he only got to report to prison officers of the incident in the morning.
On a dit mon district on a prison quoi qui borre so ba district rayon borre batte mbaba bidi mo mo ha 27 mo 31
The suspect is alleged to have been raped by 2 inmates. The other suspect was convicted for rape, robbery, and theft of motor vehicle. The 27-year-old suspect was also convicted and sentenced for robbery.
And then we
The police have since taken the suspects, Lezididi and Nkwala, alongside the raped inmate to the hospital for conduction of DNA and other tests to pave way for investigations. Investigations also revealed that the alleged raped inmate suffered bruises as a result of the gruesome incident.
forensic labs
One of the suspects, Tsepiso Letsididi, was recently convicted and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment by Brothers Chief Magistrate Mr. Moreng for rape and was also sentenced to 25 years imprisonment by Mochudi Chief Magistrate Ms. Queen Muanga for the offenses of rape, robbery and theft of motor vehicle. Ungutlethamage, Btv-News, Gaborone.
Residents of Hamudubu have pleaded with government to shut down a regional landfill operating in the area. They say the landfill is detrimental to their health and environment. They made the plea during a Khotla meeting addressed by their area Member of Parliament for Monabolina South, Mr. Shima Monareng, on Tuesday in Hamudubu. Lizzie Class with the details.
The Hamudubu Regional Landfill, which was established under a lifetime of 20-year operational agreement, has become a source of growing concern for the local community. Despite the agreement still being in effect, the residents are pleading with the government to shut down the landfill before the end of its term. They argue that the landfill has led to serious environmental degradation and has negatively affected both their lives and the well-being of their livestock. The community believes that the complete shutdown of the landfill is the only permanent solution, as it would put an end to persistent challenges they are facing.
For most of the time, I comply to
this landfill's operation does not comply to the environmental and safety standards. On top of that, it does not have a proper licensing. As such, it poses as a hazard to our lives. We give our land to the government for the period of 20 years, hoping it to be used responsibly. Instead, it has brought nothing but disaster and suffering. We have children who are more affected by this landfill. Could this landfill be relocated to another area? Maybe then we could have a chance to breathe fresh air instead of smoke from burning tires. The council is still searching for a permanent solution to address the issue, but I recommend that the landfill may be shut down since it does not comply to proper regulations. Meanwhile, the residents have called for an increase in medical personnel in the area, stating that the stronger medical team will be essential in responding to the health issues arising from the negative impacts of the landfill. We experience long nights of suffering as we suffocate from the landfill smoke, sometimes so thick we can hardly see. Through all this, we enjoy the pain inside our own homes. We only have 7 doctors who are responsible for serving the 29 clinics across the region. This is why we are often forced to visit a clinic only once in a while, but sometimes just once a month because we cannot afford to go regularly. Member of Parliament Mr. Monareng urged the residents to remain patient, urging them that he will engage all the relevant government departments in an effort to find a permanent solution to the issues surrounding the landfill. Lizzie Class, Btv-News, Hamodubu.
You're still with BTV News at 9. Former cabinet ministers visited the Outgrense family in Sorowe following the passing on of the former Sorowe North Member of Parliament, who was also the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. Speaking on behalf of members of this past regime on Wednesday, Mr. Kabomoreng indicated that Mr. Kotla Outgrense was a knowledgeable and dedicated person who was committed to working for Botswana. He said Mr. Outgrense was an icon who knew the ways of governing, in whom majority could learn a lot from on the regulations of Bokhosi and culture. The members of the former cabinet handed cash amounting to 10,500 pula to Outgrense family as a form of condolences to the family for their late colleague. In other news, Wild Screen Chief Executive Officer Ms. Lucy Moore says Botswana has a potential of producing quality wildlife films as it is rich in wildlife, natural resources and tourism, particularly in the northern part. She said this on Wednesday at Maung at a press conference, which is a prelude to the Wild Screen Festival held on Thursday, which brings together international wildlife film producers and related stakeholders to exchange knowledge and screenings of wildlife films. Marita Kaisara reports.
Upon realizing that the creative and media industries lack support and growth, the government made a decision to collaborate with international wildlife film producing companies, amongst them Wild Screen, to grow this industry, which has shown to have the potential to grow the economy and create employment for local and international citizens.
Filmmakers from over 62 countries for a week of learning, networking, pitching, commissioning, business, and we also have awards as well, where we recognise the very best in the industry, and some people on the panel have actually won some Panda Awards as well. So we're all about basically supporting people to become wildlife storytellers, because ultimately we believe that stories can help connect people with nature.
In Botswana right now, we probably have two TV stations. That is not enough to, and their budgets are very low. So one of the things that we did was to get a consultant to come and work with us and help us to try and sell our content outside the borders of Botswana, to gain FDI, foreign direct investment, and also to create jobs for a lot of locals, not only here, but outside.
This initiative will create a platform to showcase talent, creativity, and quality wildlife stories for anyone interested, particularly young people, regardless of their experience in the field.
As a young person starting, just expose yourself to storytelling in any capacity, whether it's writing, photographing. You can use your phone to tell stories. Social media is a platform to put videos that have been edited. The stories are out there, and international broadcasters will chase story beyond anything else.
Get people to study biology or zoology or go and be rangers or whatever. It's through TV, right? It's through seeing it on TV. And I think there's definitely been an incredible growth in interest in the natural world, especially with young people, because they are the ones who want to save the planet, who want to save the animals.
Fundamentally two roles. The one is the marketing of Botswana to the rest of the world, to do a lot of what Brad and everybody's been speaking about, to achieve that. And then the second part of that is taking the friction and unpredictability out of the film permitting process, and particularly for international productions coming to Botswana.
It is hoped that the program upscale Botswana's creative industry to gain international investors. Marita Kaisara, BTV News, Maung.
In international news, we start here in South Africa, where at least 49 people have died in heavy flooding in the Eastern Cape province after an extreme cold front brought torrential rain and blanketed snow in parts of the country. Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane said yesterday that the death toll provided by police is expected to rise as authorities continue to search for the missing. The death toll included 6 high school learners who were washed away when their school bus was caught in floodwaters on Tuesday near a river close to the town of Mthatha, which was especially hard hit and at the center of the worst flooding. Hosoronko is standing by to give us sport.
Let me thank you, Khomozoa, and good evening. This is Hosoronko bringing to you the BOTSWANA Tonight Sports News. And with that, let's get straight into it. Minister of Sport and Arts, Jacob Kelebeng, has revealed Botswana's keen interest in forging a strategic sport partnership with Hungary as part of a broader push to use sport as a tool for economic diversification. Minister Jacob Kelebeng says as Botswana develops its national hosting strategy, one key area of interest is collaborating with Hungary on the art and logistics of hosting major international sporting events. Speaking in Budapest, Minister Kelebeng said sport diplomacy has become a key pillar of the government's development agenda. He emphasized that Botswana is already making strides in athletics and tennis and now seeks to build on this momentum by learning from Hungary's impressive model of sports development and infrastructure.
Manufacturing batho ba thalahetseng dilo tse di tshwanang le tsa sport ba harodimonyana ha re lebile compared to rona mme gape jaaka di itse gore go na le dilo tse di tshwanang bo sports diplomacy ne re tahano tota re lebagane thata le tsone mme tautona le ene o ta kopana le tautona le prime minister wa la hatsile le ele gone go tota ke go tisa tirisano mmogo e leng teng jaaka re na le dikgang tse di tshwanang tsa bo education. Already Hungary e setse re thusa ena le di-scholarship tse di neelwang bana ba rona ko Botswana mme go na le tse dingwe rona re taberile ha re lebile thata re kgathegetse tsa metshameko ka gore re batla go tokahatsa kana ha re auto re mosa re batla go professionalize sport le di-arts ra gone gore re ithute mo mahatsi a mangwe. Hungary ke mangwe a mahatsi a re ta ithuta mo go bone ra go visita bo the Donor Arena, ra go visita bo the Puskas Arena, ra go ithuta the smart way of constructing stadiums tsa bone tse leng gore ba focusitse thata mo green energy. Ra go ithuta dilo tse dintsinyana mo go bone ka gore ke tsone dilo tse leng gore di re beile ha kana ke tsone tse leng gore di re tisitse ha.
In a major boost for local sport, the International Judo Federation IJF is set to fund the construction of a judo facility in Duokwe, signaling growing confidence in Botswana's sporting potential. The announcement was made by Minister of Sport and Arts Jacob Kelebeng, who said Botswana is steadily gaining ground on the international judo stage. He cited the growing involvement of Botswana in global judo governance, including none other than President Advocate Duma Boko, who previously served as legal advisor to the International Judo Federation. In recognition of his contribution to the sport and the global judo movement, the IJF will confer an honorary black belt on President Boko during his visit to Budapest this week. Hungary is currently hosting the International Judo Federation Congress and World Judo Championship. It has established itself as a powerhouse in international sport, particularly in judo, football, and water polo.
On the World Judo Congress and also championships. Ye longore rasolo hetsoro tautona rona te go neelwa le bantele lentsho jaaka ele mongwe a ba ga ka ba judo ke tsone dilo tse leng gore re tabe re ditetsana. He has been contributing to this judo fraternity over the years. I think gona le ha ile gore na ga kolla ka sa melao mo go bone teng o tswa kgakala le merero yone ya judo ga ke tsora le go dira judo a dira mme hela se ke se itseng ke mo judo tautono wa rona ke motho yo dumelang thata mo judo a contributor tota sa contributor le Botswana a contributor la hatsi lo ka bophara therefore they are recognizing his efforts jaaka tabatsi le jana.
Moving on, the Special Olympics Committee, which was recently accepted as a member of the BNOC during the ordinary general meeting held on the 31st of May, will now gain access to financial support and have an opportunity to send its athletes to international competitions affiliated to the BNOC. Speaking to BTV Sport, Sharon Rakai, who is the National Director of the Special Olympics, explained that this affiliation will also help improve their standing in the BNOC's funding allocation tier system. Sofatso Malepa has the report.
Special Olympics, which has been operational in Botswana for the past 40 years, focuses on athletes with intellectual disabilities and currently has about 7,000 local athletes under its fold. Giagai mentioned that they have long struggled with funding to develop the different sporting codes under their care, adding that this affiliation to BNOC comes as a big boost to them, especially in expanding the development programs that will cover all 30 sports codes under their committee.
Incredible opportunity. We are so proud to be part of the BNOC. It's a historic moment for Special Olympics. I think it's an opportunity for us, our work, to be more recognized in a national platform, an international platform as well. It's an opportunity for us to collaborate with the BNOC in terms of our sports development for athletes by intellectual disability, policy that are more inclusive for our athletes and also for them to be recognized and also international. Our athletes have been sidelined for a very long time. I think this is an opportunity for them to shine and the world to know them as well. We see a lot of developments in terms of mainstream sports. We can't wait to see that for our athletes as well.
Now that Special Olympics Committee is fully affiliated to the Botswana National Olympic Committee, it will have the opportunity to participate in international competitions and to host them locally, thus creating opportunities to contribute to Botswana's medal basket. She also added that this will present an opportunity to advance to Tier 1 of the BNC funding structure under the local sports organization's tier system.
Being now the BNOC family and the Commonwealth family, we will have an opportunity to send athletes to these international events, and I guess that will help us climb up in the tiers system, BNSC. We have the World Games that are happening in 2027 in South America. Compete the World Games in the Special Olympics. So we do have international sporting events. We have around 7,000 athletes across the country. Some are out of school, so we are really trying to grow out of school sport, out of school. The athletes they are out of school. We're trying to grow them. We want to concentrate on is making our work visible and to show that the categories we do fulfill them. And we are a multi-sport organization. Sporting code is 33 of the 40-something sporting codes. They are recognized by the Olympic Committee.
Special Olympics will have an induction meeting with BNOC to align on commitments, objectives, expectations, and to begin operation as a new member of BNOC. This includes producing a calendar of both local and international competitions. Tsegofatso Malepa, BTV Sport.
And now wrapping up the Botswana Tonight sports news. Botswana Football Association referees manager Poliso Rasutsuha said although they had planned to test the use of video assisted referee or VAR technology in the Orange FA Cup finals, that would not happen due to the ongoing COSAFA tournament. Rasutsuha said this as he gave an update on the use and implementation of VAR in the country. Garisomolelekwa compared the report.
According to Rasutsuha, one of the reasons is that they are still at infant stage on the use of VAR and relying on COSAFA region for aid in equipment as well as manpower. Our plan was to test the VAR system during the FA Cup final, but it was only going to be possible on the 21st because currently the COSAFA tournament is ongoing and all the service providers and equipment is used there. We are relying on COSAFA in everything.
nna le yone VAR ka yone finally mme ne ka kgonagala hela ne le gore ne ka nna ka di 21 tsa June ka gore mo sebakeng sa gompieno di tsompelo tsotlhe tse re di tlhokang gore re ka nna le yone re ka e dirisa mo finaleng ya gompieno di dirisiwa ke ba khosa yaanong go thata gore ba ka tla.
He added that they already have staff trained and certified in the use of VAR, pointing out that they will be looking to increase their numbers.
We are
currently looking at increasing the number of referees and instructors who are VAR certified. Some of them at COSAFA currently looking at increasing the numbers of hours as per requirement for them to be certified. We have 2 referees who are also taking part at the COSAFA tournament. Once they are certified, we will have a total of 5 referees who are VAR certified. The former referee confirmed that by the beginning of 2025-2026 football season, VAR technology will be in full use in the local football. Our intention is to improve the standard of refereeing locally. BFA leadership take this seriously, and we will make sure that by the beginning of 2025-2026 season, all is set.
BFA ha gona se sla re emisa tumelo go gore 2025-26 season me betche e re tla be re kgethetse gore e coverwe ke VAR ra go bona go iragala jalo.
The Orange FA Cup final was scheduled for the testing of the VAR system, and it's hoped that the BFA will do everything necessary to ensure that everything is in place before the start of the next season. Kagiso Molelekwa, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight's Sports Desk. Until we meet tomorrow, have a good night. Now let's give you a reminder of the headlines.
President Advocate Duma Boko has arrived in Budapest, Hungary. Residents of Hamudubu plead with government to close down a landfill site due to its detrimental effects to the village.
And in sports, Botswana and Hungary embark on a journey to forge strategic sports collaborations and partnerships.
That's how we come to the end of our news bulletin this Thursday evening. Good evening.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast. My name is Kumo Cecil Monarch. This evening, clouds are visible over most areas in our country. There is a possibility of isolated thunder showers over Ngamili and Chobe and northern central district. On Friday,